It's what geologists call ridged moraine, undifferentiated till, all piled and jumbled up here, the high point of which is Spy Hill. Lots of potholes and sloughs for ducks. It's Wednesday evening, July 24th, 2013, and this is Spy Hill, Saskatchewan, named after that prominent feature. Looking southeast along the main line of the Canadian National Railway, laid through here by the Grand Trunk Pacific in 1907-08. Bicycle is sitting on Highway 8, which has just come up through the Qu'Appelle River Valley from Brokenville and Moosomin on the Trans-Canada Highway. And home of Jeff Odgers, an enforcer for the Sharks. And that car has just come out of Spy Hill on 1st Avenue and is about to turn onto the highway, accelerating away southward. Not the best farmland in through here. In fact, Jim Pearson identifies only 3 elevators ever having been built at Spy Hill. The Atlas and the Security both went up in 1909, and the Atlas was closed in 1920, while the Security was bought up by Northern Elevator in 1929 and closed and dismantled in 1933. The Saskatchewan Cooperative Elevator Company built an elevator here in 1912, and it became the Wheat Pool in 1924-26. It was rebuilt in 1956 and closed in 1975, the last elevator in Spy Hill. Don't know when the church was built. It looks to be in the mid-50s. And a crew-on break down by the curling rink on Jubilee Avenue, right next to the Centennial Park, which was built, laid out in 1967, northeast corner of town. And Main Street. That's the Good Shepherd Lutheran Church. I don't know when it was built, but it's part of the Spy Hill Museum now. We're looking southeast down 2nd Avenue and up towards uptown. The first store on this site was built by the Painter brothers, who had helped found the Harmona colony in 1895 down in the north, or in the Qu'Appelle River Valley, not too far from here, and the cenotaph right at the head of Main Street. By 1900, the colony had failed, and the brothers were looking for something to do and set up a store here about 1907 when the Grand Trunk Pacific surveyors ran the road through here. Laid the steel in 1908, and 2 years later raised the Type E station at mile 82.4 from Rivers, Manitoba, on what the CN would call its Minneota sub. The station burned in 1960 and was replaced by a repurposed telegraph repeater station that's built in 1928 and moved on the site to serve as a station. There's the famous Double D Inn where you can get a nice steak. The village of Spy Hill was incorporated April 22nd, 1910. Post office was opened in this area by Howard Bailey April 1st, 1888, and was moved on to the town site by A.R. Miller. And there's part of the museum. Not sure which historical buildings they're preserving there. And the station would have stood right down here somewhere. Now, the Spy Hill Hotel burned in 1940, and I'm thinking it was right here, and that might be the excavation for the foundations there, all turned into a garden. Spy Hill has been able to maintain its population about 200 for the last decade and a half, and that's thanks largely due to what lies about a kilometer below our feet. Potash is discovered in this area. Huge deposits, and it's been being mined actively by 3 mines since the 1970s. No school in Spy Hill anymore, though. Spy Hill's claim to fame was that this was the place that George Lorsch built his famous snowplane from the 1920s till the factory closed in 1955. He started with just a Model T engine on a little tubular frame with 3 skis, canvas covered, big propeller on the back, and he ended up with this model here, a 6-passenger model, still with an airplane propeller in the back. He built over 600 over the years. They were used by the police, mail carriers, doctors, teachers on occasions. Back in the day when the snow wasn't plowed off the wintertime roads in Saskatchewan. The headquarters of the rural municipality is Spy Hill, number 152. Spy Hill, Saskatchewan.